Watch me do my crusty dusty nails while I tell you a story time. Before I get into the story time, I want to let you know that I'm launching this Easter bundle March 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It includes these 5 beautiful pastel colors I'll be using throughout this video. So with that being said, let's get into the story time. As you all know, I used to take clients about 2 years ago. I had this one client, let's name her Bella. Bella would always ask me if she can film the whole process of me doing her nails, and of course I had no problem with that. She told me it was for her YouTube channel that she's gonna start soon. Me being supportive, I told her to record whenever, like I don't care. So one day Bella asked me if she can record my nail room, and of course I said sure. I thought it would be a cute clip in the video. I didn't really think much of it, but then I checked Bella's story like a week later. Bella posted that she's starting to do nails, and on her next story she posts her nail room, which looks identical to mine. The funny thing is she never started that YouTube channel and she was just recording to copy everything I have. Should I be flattered or is that creepy?
Anonymous story time. The first and last time I did this girl's nails, she came in with 2 of her friends. One of her friends started touching my things and kind of snooping around. From the corner of my eye, I seen her touch her purse. She would turn around to look at her friends and say, "Oh my god, look at this color, it's so pretty." She then walked over to the coat rack where my purse was hanging. She started saying, "Wow, it's getting really warm in here. Do you mind turning down the heater just a little bit, please?" I was like, "Oh yeah, give me a minute," and I walked out of the room. I heard her say pretty loud, "I'm gonna take off my sweater." When I come back, they're all acting really weird. I'm trying to finish this girl's nails and I overhear one of the friends whisper to the other friend, "Just put it all back." I am so stupid for thinking these girls would not steal from me. I finish up the girl's nails, she pays me, thanks me, says how much she loves them, and they all walk out. As I'm cleaning up, I start counting my money and I realize that the $100 bill she gave me says play money. Then I notice I have gels and glitters missing. I look everywhere and realize this bitch took my shit. I check my purse and all my cash is missing. I tried to contact the girl and I'm blocked.
My husband convinced me to get a job at his company, hoping it would help him stop cheating. So my husband, 36 male, and I, 35 female, are high school sweethearts. We got pregnant in high school, dated for a few years after we had our baby, and we decided we did want to get married. Through every single up and down, we were there for one another. I honestly didn't think we could have a more perfect relationship. It's something I have been so proud about most of my life. Almost 4 months ago, my husband asked me to get a job at his company. Before this, I had just been working part-time jobs because we didn't really need the money since we weren't financially responsible for a child anymore. However, we agreed the extra money would be lovely to go towards our family trip funds, something we both and our son add to as often as possible. Our hope being to take a family vacation across Europe for a few months. And we are trying to make it happen sooner than later because our son is recently married. We want them to be able to still go on one trip without worrying about a new baby. Once I got the job, I thought it was such a great decision. I was making quite a bit of extra money and seeing my husband so much more. Well, a couple of weeks ago, one of his coworkers approached me and asked how I could be so cool with the ongoing situation. I had no idea what she was talking about. So I asked for more detail and she told me my husband and one of his coworkers had been having an affair for over a year. Well, honestly, I trust my husband more than this woman I just met. I told him about it that night and he immediately broke down. He told me he was sorry, but it was true. He said I'm still the love of his life, but he needs some I can't even read the sentence. He said I'm still the love of his life, but he needs some excitement outside of our relationship. He told me he had been feeling so guilty about it, he asked me to start working there, hoping it would make him want to cheat less. But it's actually just caused them to sneak around more and find the relationship even more hot. I feel like I should stick this out because we have been together for so long, and I know it would devastate our son, but I don't think I can move on from this. He didn't even apologize, just told me every man needs something new and exciting in a long-term relationship, and that it means nothing. Well, it certainly feels like something. Oh my god.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life. I'll go first. 2 years ago, I was walking my dog at the park and a man approached me and asked to take a picture of her. And I said yes, because why not? It's a picture of a dog. So he starts taking a picture of my dog, and then I realized that he was like holding up her collar, and then it hit me. My address is on that collar. He's not taking a picture of my dog, he's taking a picture of my address. So I told him that I actually didn't feel comfortable with him having a picture of my dog, and I asked him to delete it. So he deletes it and then like starts walking away really fast. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, no, could you also go into your deleted album and delete it from there?" And he goes, "I don't have a deleted album." And I was like, "You have an iPhone, everybody has a deleted album, could you please delete the picture?" And he was like, "Sorry, I don't have a deleted album," and like keeps walking away. And keep in mind, this is like 2 PM in a park, like there's other people around. So now I'm like chasing after him and I'm telling him, "Sir, I know you have the album, I will show you where the album is, can you please go onto your phone so that we can delete the picture?" Oh, part 2. Part two. I'm sorry for the delay. So I'm still chasing after him, and people at the park are like starting to look at us now because I'm chasing after him and I'm telling him to stop walking. And so he stops, and I tell him again to delete the photo from the deleted album, and he goes, "I don't have a deleted album." And I was like, "Yes, you do. Everybody does. It'll take 10 seconds." And he goes, "Fine." And he like goes in his phone and does something for a second. He goes, "There, it's gone." And I was like, "Could I see the deleted album just to make sure it's gone?" And he goes, "No, you can't look at my phone." And I was like, "I don't want to look at your phone. I just want to see the album just to make sure the picture is gone. That's it." And he goes, "No, you're not going to look at my phone." And I was like, "Sir, I'm not going to stop and I'm not going to leave until you show me the album. So please just show me the album so we can be done with this." So he shows me the album. The picture was still there. So I made him delete it in front of my eyes. What if I hadn't noticed that he took a picture of my address? And what if I went home that day and, that night when I took my dog out to pee, he was outside waiting for me? I mean...
When I was little, I found my mom's credit card, and being a 6-year-old, I saw my mom putting the credit card on her phone, and I knew how she did it. So, I decided that I was going to put it on my phone. So, I put it on my phone, and I was downloading Roblox, because I thought, hey, I can play with my friends here. That day, I spent $2,000 worth of freaking money on Robux. Let's just say a lot of my friends thought I was really cool and rich. When my mom found out, I hid from her for seriously like a day. And then once I got in there, she wasn't mad. She just said I was Captain Robux.
What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? Olive Garden breadsticks are just Franz brand breadsticks, garlic, salt and butter. Actually, it's not even butter, it's margarine. Amazon actually hires people to test their products and write reviews for them. You get sent free Amazon Basics products like bed sheets, coffee makers, headphones, you name it. They pay extremely well, like $2,800 a month, and you get to keep all products you're sent. Edit, I got the job at basicstester.com. I worked at L'Oreal. The cosmetics from L'Oreal and Lancome are practically the same, but Lancome costs like $20 more. I was a Netflix tagger. My job was to watch unreleased movies/shows and tag the content in the correct categories like mystery, comedy, action, horror. I made $950 a week and got to lounge at home while doing it. It was quite literally the chillest job I've had. Edit, for the people asking, I applied at flixtagger.com.
Story time! So this situation happened when me and my friend group had just started 7th grade. And one of my friends in the group had already gotten detention for not finishing her homework. And keep in mind that this was a very strict teacher, so no one liked him. We'll call him Mr. Brown. So when the class found out that Mr. Brown gave Sophie detention for not finishing her homework, everyone thought that it was really unfair. A couple weeks go by and Sophie hated the teacher. And I'm pretty sure he hated all of us too. So then this one day, me, Sophie, and the rest of the group decided that we were tired of going to Mr. Brown's class just to get yelled at, so we decided that we were going to skip his class for that day. At the end of the period, we were walking to our next classes when we ran into Mr. Brown. He called us and pulled us aside, and he asked us where we were and why we weren't in his class today. We told him that we had all gone to the office, but he didn't believe us, so he gave all of us detention except for Sophie. In front of all of us, he told her to meet up with him after school and that she was going to spend detention in his class while we had it in a different class across the school. So we were all confused as to why only Sophie had to go to his class, but we didn't say anything. After school, we went to detention. And the detention teacher was actually one of my dad's friends, so he didn't believe that we had done something bad, so he let us go. He told us to just stay at school until detention was over so Mr. Brown could check us out. We all went outside and sat on the tables when one of my friends say, "Hey, we should all go see what Sophie's doing in Mr. Brown's class." We all agreed and got up and started walking across the school to get to Mr. Brown's room. While we were walking, we started coming up with ideas as to why she had to be in a different class. We got to the hall where the class was and we had to be really quiet because we didn't want Mr. Brown to see us. We look in the class and Sophie wasn't there. That's when we heard footsteps coming our way, so we all hid. We see Sophie walking back from the restroom, goes into the classroom, and then she gives Mr. Brown a hug. At that point, we were all even more confused because we thought she hated him. That's when my friend took out her phone and started recording them, but then Mr. Brown and Sophie seen us, so we all had to run back to the detention room. When we got back, the teacher was still there, so we told him everything that we had just seen. After that, my friend pulled out her phone and showed him the video.
So we showed him the video, but by then detention was over, so we all had to go home. As we were leaving, Mr. Brown and the teacher got into an argument and Sophie had to stay there and call her parents. When it was over, my friend had to send the video to the detention teacher and then we went home. The next day, we all got together for announcements and we found out that Mr. Brown was not going to be a teacher at the school anymore and that he was going to jail for having a relationship with a minor. Sophie went to school that day but told us that it was her last day there and that it was all our fault that they got caught. She also said that her parents got so mad at her that they decided that she was going to be homeschooled from now on. And to this day, none of us have really talked about what happened between Sophie and Mr. Brown.